Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about, possible primary targets for pro-Trump Republicans, establishment Republicans who might end up getting primaried this year. So yeah, let's hop right into it. But first, just want to quickly announce that my newsletter is going to be changed from a weekly newsletter to a twice-a-week newsletter. So you can expect um, updates from me on Substack on Tuesday and Friday. So, yeah. Now, let's get started with the Republicans who could get primaried. So, really quickly, I'm just going to start by saying that this is not, a Red Eagle politics type video where we speak intensely to the microphone and say, they didn't fight for Trump. There's not going to be a ton of that. But there is going to be a ton of, where is the Trump base strong and where are, you have Republican incumbents who don't demonstrate charisma to to win over their base. Now, starting, we're going to go from, west to east. Starting with Alaska, this is a red state. This could change, in the, this could change in the future. We could see Alaska become a battleground in 10 or 12 years from now. I think it'll be competitive by 2032 or 2036. But right now, Lisa Murkowski is the incumbent. She's very well liked by moderate Republicans and even some Democrats who I think would vote for her. But I think she could get primaried. She does not vote with Trump a ton. She's probably going to vote to convict him and remove him from office in February. So that'll be interesting. But we also have to remember that in 2016, she had a four-way race where you had another Republican, I believe, Joe Miller, or no, I think he could have been a libertarian. I'm not sure, but he was more of a very Trumpian candidate than Murkowski, and Murkowski still won that election. So I think Murkowski is going to win her primary, but she's going to get primaried. I say that with a lot of confidence. Now, moving on to our next state, I think Mike Crapo in Idaho is going to get primaried. Now, we don't know whether Crapo is going to run again. I think he is, but he has been serving since 1998. Where I believe he ended up, that was his first term, so we'll have to see, but, yeah, so I think he's going to get primaried because, again, he's an establishment figure. He's not super pro-Trump. I'm pretty sure he voted for Trump. I don't think he's going to vote to remove Trump from office, or to convict Trump. We'll have to see, but I do think that he's going to get primaried because he hasn't, been, I guess, a, big voice in the MAGA movement or the America First movement or the nationalist movement. Now in Utah, that's Mike Lee's seat. I'm kind of torn on whether Mike Lee could get primaried. I mean, we don't know if he's going to run again, but his seat's pretty solid for the Republicans. I mean, he might get primaried, but I don't think he's going to lose his primary. So far, the only one who I think is going to lose their primary or has a serious potential of losing the primary or is in serious danger of losing their primary, I guess, is Mike Crapo in Idaho. But Lee, he's probably going to get primaried. I don't think it'll be serious, though. So yeah. And it won't get too much attention. Murkowski's primary challenge could get attention because she's, I guess, a liberal Republican. So, yeah. Now, North Dakota, I'm pretty sure that's John Thune's seat. No, he's in South Dakota, my bad. John Hoeven's seat in North Dakota. I believe, hopefully I'm not wrong, because I don't want to look like an idiot here, but I'm kind of going off script. I don't think he's going to get primaried. I mean, I'll say I don't think he's actually, I'll remove Utah from this list because I don't think it'll be serious. I think he could get primaried, but I don't think he's going to get seriously primaried. Someone who I do think is going to get seriously primaried is, in South Dakota, we have John Thune, who is up for re-election in South Dakota. And he is, I believe, the Senate Minority Whip, right? Am I right? No, maybe I'm not right. But he is leadership in the Republican Party of the Senate, and Donald Trump literally tweeted, "Kristi Noem primary John Thune. He's a rhino." That's not normal behavior, but it's normal for Trump, I guess. And Kristi Noem was like, "No, I'm not going to run. He's my good friend, and she's going to run for a second term as governor." But we're going to have to see it. I think someone else is I guess I'm going to take the primary Thune challenge into their own hands, and I think he might lose his primary because South Dakota is a very Trumpian state. We have, Trump won. I think he got over 60% of the vote in South Dakota, so I think that the Republicans, whoever they run, is going to win. But I think Thune could absolutely get primaried and lose. So I think he's the most vulnerable so far. In Kansas, Jerry Moran, I don't think he's going to get primaried. He's pretty well liked by his constituents. Oklahoma, though, James Langford, I do think is going to get primaried. He kind of shot himself in the foot by trying to play to both sides. Now, on one hand, he objected to the results of the election, which was, I think, obviously an attempt to please the Trump base for his upcoming 2022 re-election bid. But being realistic, I don't think that that didn't help him to begin with. B, he then later apologized and said maybe I was inciting mistrust because the areas that we were talking about, like Wayne County, Michigan, or Fulton County, Georgia, or Dane County, Wisconsin, or Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Those are all very, very diverse areas that have a huge black population, and that could be interpreted as racist. That was a statement. He apologized for it. I think that's going to hurt him with the Trump base. Really, I do. I think he's going to get primary. I think him and John Thune are really at risk of losing a primary, especially in such Trumpian states like Oklahoma. Joe Biden didn't even win a county there, so yeah. Now, Louisiana, that's John Neely Kennedy's seat. I think he's fine. Arkansas, I think John Boozman. I don't think he's going to lose a primary, mostly because he doesn't have a ton of name recognition. But I do think that he has the potential to absolutely get primaried. I mean, being realistic, he's not super well known. I mean, him and Jerry Moran are like the two senators that I know literally the least about. So, yeah. Now, in Missouri, Roy Blunt, I think he could get primaried too because he did not object to the election results and, was very quiet. He was kind of a quiet voice in the Make America Great Again movement. None of these Republicans voted to convict Trump in January of 2020. Which was last year already. Feels like 2 days ago, but it was last year. So we're going to have to see. But I think that certainly Josh Hawley is more liked by the Trump base than Roy Blunt of the two Missouri senators. In Kentucky, I think Rand Paul is pretty safe. Indiana, I think Todd Young, who's kind of an establishment figure. I mean, he's taken a few votes that really don't bode well for him, I think. I mean, his stances on immigration are not super popular with the Trump base, so I do think that Todd Young could get primaried, and I think he could lose the primary, but I wouldn't put him at too much of a risk right now. Iowa, it depends on if Chuck Grassley runs. Chuck Grassley's probably not going to get. I mean, he could be, but I don't think he'll be that serious. I'm going to leave Iowa blank. Alabama, Richard Shelby. We're expecting an announcement in January. So we're going to have to see. I think he's going to run again. And I think he'll get primaried. He's probably going to win his primary, though. So, yeah. In Florida, Rubio, people are saying that Ivanka Trump might primary Rubio. I do think that we're going to have to see. Rubio, on one hand, he's obviously the best candidate for the Senate race. I think if it's nominee, it's pretty solid for the Republicans. It's probably looking at an 8 to 10 point win for the Republicans if he is the nominee. Because he can, probably outperform Trump in Miami-Dade and really all of the Hispanic-heavy regions. He can also probably flip back Duval County, probably flip back St. Lucie, or Trump won St. Lucie. He could probably flip back Duval and Pinellas as well, possibly Hillsborough. I think Hillsborough is a pure toss-up in that race, maybe leaning Rubio. But, again, we're going to have to see. But I think Ivanka Trump could primary Rubio. That would be tough because Ivanka Trump isn't really as political as her father is, obviously. So we're going to have to see what she runs on. She'd probably run on a Trump platform. I mean, trying to win. The Republican base is still very Trumpian, even though he's not very popular nationwide. But I still do think that Rubio would win a primary. It would be close, though. It depends on how America First of a platform Ivanka Trump runs on. If she's super America First, she could beat Rubio. If she just runs as another establishment figure, she'll probably get destroyed. So we're going to have to see. In South Carolina, Tim Scott, I think he's going to get primary. He hasn't been a huge voice in the Trump movement. I mean, he obviously spoke at the 2020 RNC, but I guess that hasn't been viewed as enough for the Republican base or for the Trump base, I guess we could say. So I do think that absolutely there's going to be a primary challenge for Tim Scott. Also, I should just change this to Republicans who could get primaried, so we can just see how many there are, because it says 40 right now. That's not the case. Who could get primaried, and we're going to make the color, I guess. We'll make it green. We're going to add it right there. So, there we go. Ooh, that's a nice shade of green. I like that. Wait, why is it? Okay, that's super weird. Okay, so when I click, it starts off as likely. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. That's really weird. Whatever. Like here, look. When I click, it starts off as likely, then lean, then tilt, then safe. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, whatever. Getting back to this. Also, why does it? Okay, man, I'm just gonna have to. Whatever. I give up. But yeah, now I think that's gonna be it. Portman obviously probably would have gone primary, but he retired. North Carolina's an open seat. Pennsylvania's an open seat. Ron Johnson, Wisconsin, that's debatable. We're going to have to see, but I don't think he'll get too much. If he does run again, I don't think he'll get a serious primary challenge. And, either way, Ron Johnson isn't super popular in Wisconsin, so we're going to have to see how he does. I'm really torn on that race. I think, actually, I won't reveal it. Stay tuned for the next Senate prediction in 2022. So thank you for watching this video. Please hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already. Share the channel with your friends. Check out the links in the description. We have a newsletter, Twitter, Patreon, Discord, etc. All that. So thank you all, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.